book lovers, and welcome or welcome back to a new video. Grab a drink because we're going to hang out and talk about some spicy books. So grab a cool drink because it's going to get hot. I don't know if I can pull this off. Iced matcha, so good. I thought we could rank some spicy contemporary romances. And I also thought just ranking them with like little spice, more spice, a lot of spice is a bit boring because I want to judge the spice. Like, what did the spice do for the book? Is it emotional spice? Is the spice overtaking plot? And therefore I've done a little like ranking grid. Is that what you call it? And I've got quite a few popular book talk books and I'm so excited to tell you about my categories. And I also don't have any closed door books in here because we want to talk about the spice. So we're starting off with the first category, which is the starter spice. It is a bit of vanilla. It is more than kissing though, and it's literally like a peek inside. And I feel like it just, if you're unsure about, you know, if you want to read with spice or not, these are book recommendations that I would say start here. After that we have emotional spice. So we'll see how I will end up ranking all of these. The spice is not just smut thrown in, but it actually develops the relationship. And that's usually my sweet spot and what I prefer and my favorite kind of spice. And then we have certified spice. Certified spice is basically just solid smut. Like, it's not overpowering, it is also creative, and it's just good spice. Then we have the hot but hollow category, because sometimes a book can be super hot, but the spice definitely takes over, and it's totally fine if you want to read that as well. It's just not, you know, as like emotional, or the romance itself is not as in focus. So even though this is not really my absolute favorite, I've definitely read books for that reason, and I feel like there's, you know, in general, no shame. Like, we're not judging spicy book readers. I will defend spicy books until I die, but that's a whole different like video. Now, the top category. The top category is read it for the spice. This is books where I'm just saying, like, these are rent-free scenes in my head and I would reread it for the spice, and I'm telling you, read it for the spice. The book itself can still be amazing, and there's definitely other reasons to read these books too. Also, I'm sorry if I always look down, like I have my laptop here. So I've got all my books on the side and I don't even know, should we just start at the beginning? Yes, probably. So we've got The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I would say this goes straight into starter spice. Like, it's not really fade to black, but I wouldn't call this like a smutty book or anything. Let's go to Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I'm not going to talk about all these books and what they're about because we'll be here for forever. I think we're already gonna be here for a while because I'm in a yapping mood, and yeah, nobody's gonna watch 3 hours of me yapping. Delilah Green Doesn't Care. This is definitely one of my favorites. I think my favorite is actually the Christmas book, and I would say, is it a read it for a spice? Oh my god, I would almost say it is. I would say usually all of her books are certified spice or even emotional spice, to be honest. Oh, now I'm like confusing myself with the categories. Where do I want to put it? Is something like, I would say that the Christmas book by her is a bit more read it for the spice. It's a bit more stuck in my head. This one, a certified spice. Definitely, in general, I would approve Ashley Herring Blake for her spice. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is Stephanie Archer. I have a few actually. I would say Stephanie Archer is definitely certified spice. I would definitely put Behind the Net in there. I didn't really love that book as much as these other two, so these are my favorite. I don't have a third book in here. I don't know, a little bit random, but we're not here to judge me. We're here to judge the spice. So where would I put Gloves Off and Fake Out? It's not that we repeat the same spice scenes just to leave them in, but actually only if it makes a connection for, you know, the couple. So kind of want to put them in emotional spice. By the way, the emotional spice doesn't mean that it's lower spice. It's just different from solid spice. I hope this makes sense to you guys. But I would probably put these two down here. Yeah, but I kind of am thinking I am actually going to put this book by Ashley Herring Blake here. I'm happy with that change. Okay, let's move on before I change even more. Let's, talk about Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I actually hated this one. I gave this 1 star, but guys, we're not here to like judge the book, we're here to judge the spies. And for the spies, I will say it is Certified Spies. And it must be me that I didn't love this book. So I want to try other books by her. Let's get to this series, the Twisted series by Ana Huang. And I've actually got all the books here. I should at least. Yeah. Here we have this and we have The Striker. Just because I wanted to show you like the difference in one author's ability on how to write spies. Because I think most of them are different. So Twisted Love, sorry, but Hot But Hollow. I wouldn't even say like this was hot. This was mediocre spice. Oh, I should have. I'm so mad at myself. I should have had mediocre spice in here, guys. I am so mad. Should I add this? Because Hot But Hollow is also fine. I think Hot But Hollow and mediocre spice are the same. Let me add this. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Let's talk about her good spice books. That is Twisted Game and Twisted Hate. I think that is Anna's best work when it comes to spice and no other book. And I've read all of her books besides her very first ones that came before the Twisted series. Came even close to that spice level. Both of them are read it for the spice. 100%. And hear me out, Twisted Games is actually one of my least favorite books from the Twisted series. Not one of them, it is my least favorite book. But the spice in there, I would reread it for the spice. So it deserves that category. Twisted Hate. Twisted Hate, I also have a twisted relationship with. Because like this spice and the enemies to lovers is so good in that book. But the third act breakup, I just... like in my mind, I deleted that. Like that didn't happen in my version of this book and with this couple. But we're here again to judge the spice, not the entire book. And I've read these books years ago. Like when did they come out? A long time ago. They have both spice scenes that still live rent-free in my head. And wow, it's incredible. Whereas Twisted Lies, I will say, I generally like the book a lot more than Twisted Love, but I can't tell you a thing about the spice. I would probably put this in Certified Spice because I know it was good and spicy, but that's all I can tell you guys. The Striker. The Striker, honestly, Hot But Hollow. It really didn't hit for me, and I think the entire book tried to be a lot more emotional and deep, and it just wasn't. And it was just also too much spice for that, where we didn't really have like development over the spice. But just wanted to show you how like different also the spice can be from one author, but all of them have a high amount of smut. Okay, let's go to my next favorite book, Archer's Voice. I just had a reading blog about this. Favorite book. Anyway, no, it wasn't actually that bad. When it comes to the spice, they had my kind of favorite spice. I would say it is probably emotional spice. I would even consider putting this in starter spice, because even though there is quite a like number of spice scenes, it's not super dirty spice. Some of these spice scenes up here, they're like chapters long, okay? That's not really Archer's Voice. And you can thank me later for all the starter spice books if you haven't been into spice before. Like, I want to open up your world. Anyway, okay, Elsie Silver. Elsie Silver, another author, generally just spice approved. Like, her books are incredible anyway, but her spice is also so well written. I think I've got the entire, I've got the entire Chestnut Springs series here, besides Hopeless, because I haven't read it yet. But again, I just wanted to show you like the different levels of spice. Powerless is my least favorite, and I'm sorry, but I will put this in Hot But Hollow. And it was probably because I wasn't as into the couple, but I don't know. It was like one or two spice scenes too much for me. Whereas I would say Reckless and Heartless, which are my favorites. And obviously, like, guys, I try to be objective, but I can't, okay? These are my book opinions, and I want to highlight the ones that I love. So yes, obviously it makes a difference how much I enjoyed the general book. Like, I know, you don't have to scream at me. Both of them go into Read It for the Spice. Like, they both have scenes that I'm like, they're so hot, guys. So hot. And I want to say that Flawless kind of stands for like most Elsie Silver books. I'll put in Certified Spice. Usually Elsie Silver, I would say, like, is a Certified Spice author. It's like even the Hot But Hollow ones, as I said, it's not that they're like super bad books. It's just that I feel like the spice at some point in the story didn't really add value to the book anymore. Let's go with the score. And obviously, when we have Elle Kennedy here, I also have to have her other book. I don't think I've put the entire Off-Campus series here. Actually, The Deal and The Score are both my favorites. I would say, again, generally when it comes to the author, Elle Kennedy, it's for me Certified Spice. The Deal, I would actually 100% put into Emotional Spice. Like, this spice here is so intertwined with the story and with the two characters. And again, it's not that Emotional Spice can't be like dirty and like, you know, a lot and more than just a couple smutty scenes, but it's just how they, you know, develop and like what happens when they are intimate. And if you know the story, I feel like you would agree that 100% The Deal for me is definitely Emotional Spice. And oh, I love that so much. I've reread The Deal and The Score, but I will definitely reread it again before the show comes out. I'm so excited for that. The Score, I will put Read It for the Spice. And like some of these scenes, they're rent-free in my head. And I've also read The Deal and The Score a while ago. Even though I've reread them, I didn't reread them in the last 2 years. Okay, let's go to the next one. And another book, book-wise, didn't love at all. Even though I've only read this a couple months ago, I can't tell you a lot when it comes to the spice, but I know that I will put it in Stardust Spice. It wasn't Fade to Black, just the perfect vanilla flavor, basically. Along the same lines almost, we've got Abby Jimenez. She has explicit scenes, but they're not really detailed. Like, they're not smut. They're just there for intimacy. So for that reason, it is also going into Stardust Spice. And I mean, Part of Your World is one of my absolute favorite books. So again, it's not about the spice that really determines whether I love the book or not. It's a love story, it's a 1-star read next to one of my like 6-star reads, and both of them are Stardust Spice. So spice can definitely add to a story, but it doesn't have to. Let's go to First Time Caller, which is by BK Borison. And I also want to judge her other book, Love Light Farms, which are both really popular. For some reason, I don't really feel connected to the characters and I'm just never as invested, but I'm determined to still try a few books by her. And I do like that she has spice in her books. I will say I remember more from Love Light Farms than First Time Caller, but I feel like First Time Caller also has some spice in it, right? It is kind of mediocre spice. I would probably put it here because I can't remember anything. Whereas Love Light Farms, I would probably put in Certified Spice. Like, it was hot. Let's just leave it like that. I feel good with it. Let's go to the next books, and we've got Ellie Hazelwood here. And Ellie Hazelwood, I also want to talk in general about her like spice levels. I feel like there's one more. Yes. So I've got her first book here, The Love Hypothesis, and then I've also got Bright and Deep End. I feel like I will be judged for how I will categorize it. Ellie Hazelwood started with a book that had basically one spicy scene, and I would say for a spicy book that is definitely not a lot. However, that one scene was like going on for pages and it was a very good spice scene. So since then she increased her spice, her like more newer releases, Bright and Deep End. Bright is a spicy book that I would not recommend to just anyone because I feel like the spice can definitely throw you off. It even threw me a little bit, and I love my spice. I will get cancelled for that, but I will put The Love Hypothesis in Stardust Spice. So hear me out. I know that that one spice scene is super dirty and is like going on for long. So it's not that you like get into like lukewarm water, I'm throwing you into cold water, but I know you can swim. Because it's just that one scene, and I feel like it's a good like starter set for yourself to see if you like it or not in a story, that it just, for me, it has to go into Stardust Spice. I will put Bright into Read It for the Spice. It is different, it throws you a little bit, but it's also very, very hot. It is definitely not Hot but Hollow because there's a lot more like emotional development through the spice. I wouldn't like just throw you into Bride. I'm just saying if you like spicy books, read Bride for the spice and thank me later. Whereas Deep End, for what Deep End actually is, it is not spicy or kinky enough. So in Deep End, the two characters actually develop their relationship because of their like shared interest in specific kings. And I feel like all of that sounds really dirty and like a super smutty book. And there definitely is like spice in it and a good amount of spice. And maybe I should have actually also put Not in Love in here by Ellie Hazelwood, because I feel like it's the same in there, where she also described it as more of like an erotic romance, where I wouldn't say it's like, it's not just a smutty book. Like it is definitely not Hot but Hollow, because there is so much development through like the intimacy. Like that is how they connect, that I actually would say Deep End, the same as Not in Love by her, I mean I don't have it in here, but just if you're interested, would be emotional spice for me. Without the spice, the romance would actually lose a lot of its body. And for someone who doesn't really read spice, maybe that sounds super irritating, but it just, like, people connect on different levels. Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. And I also have Addicted to You. So I didn't put the entire like 10 book series here because, you know, space, and I feel like they're quite similar. So in Addicted to You, we follow Lo and Lily, and Lily is a sex addict. So I feel like that's all you need to know for understanding that this book definitely, you know, tackled some smutty scenes, and it's just an integral part of the entire story. There's so much emotional spice. Just Lily and Lo have like 5 books, so at some point it is not just emotional spice anymore. Like yes, it is at the beginning, so maybe Addicted to You would be emotional spice, but I want Addicted to You to stand for like the entire Lily and Lo books, and I would probably say it is more certified spice. I will put Kiss the Sky in emotional spice. On the other hand, there's some scenes that do live rent-free in my head. I mean, oh, is it actually maybe a read for the spice book? Then I'm thinking about them, I'm like, no guys, you're like so much emotional spice. This is so difficult, guys. No, come on, come on. It's Read It for the Spice. It's like, if you haven't read these books yet and you're a spicy reader, I want to convince you to read it. That's why I'm putting it in Read It for the Spice. Okay, let's talk about Magnolia Parks and the only odd one out. I wanted to mention Magnolia Parks. It would actually be in Closed Door. Like Magnolia Parks, this series, or Jessa Hastings in general, she doesn't write smut. She doesn't really have spicy scenes in her books. However, they feel like they should. Like that's the one thing that's missing. And especially like there's so much talk about doing it. Like there is even scenes about it. Literally it is just to understand what the characters go through while they do it, but it is not actually about the doing it. I feel like also if you think about Magnolia Parks and you haven't read it, you would probably assume it has smut in it, but it actually doesn't. So I would put it in Star Spice, but also if you read it and don't like it, don't ever talk to me. Like, I don't want to know. Magnolia Parks is one of my favorite series and I don't want to hear criticism, even though I understand it, but like, talk to someone else who also doesn't like it, but it will destroy something between us. We don't want to go there, guys. Let's continue. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, also a very recent read. I wouldn't say that the smut is anything to like write home about, so probably I would put it into Hot but Hollow. It doesn't really add anything for me to the story, and it's not like a super creative smut, and I just... There's also a different scene. Yeah, no, Hot but Hollow / mediocre spice is so what this book deserves. Let's judge The Simple Wild. The Simple Wild has a few explicit scenes, but it's not anything crazy. The Simple Wild is one of my top reads. This book is technically not perfect, but I love this book so much, and it's so much more than a romance. And because I can't really remember a lot about the spice, I just know that they have a bit of spice. I would probably say I'll put it into Starter Spice. Then we have Tessa Bailey. And I've got 2 popular books by her, or at least I think popular books. They're my favorites, okay? It Happened One Summer is definitely the most popular book by her, I think. And I would say, generally speaking, for Tessa Bailey. I would put her, or like all her books, into the hot but hollow category. I read her books. I mean, that doesn't sound right because I am saying now I read her books for the spice. Okay, maybe then it's not really hot but hollow, but read it for the spice category. All her books definitely sort of lack emotional depth. But then when it comes to these two, I will 100% say, like, It Happened for the Summer is such an easy read it for the spice book for me, because, oh my word, there is like a champagne scene. That is chef's kiss. It Happened for the Summer is probably her most emotional read, which is why it's maybe also that popular. I would have maybe put Tools of Engagement into certified spice, but now that I think about it, like, Tessa Bailey is one of, if not the only author that I go back to, even though I haven't really loved any of her other books besides these two, but I go back to her again and again because of the spice. A book though that I would put into hot but hollow is The Stopover. Oh my god, there is so much spice in there that is not about like developing the relationship, and yeah, it is hot, but the entire book I really didn't like, and it's not something where I would like go back to like read it for the spice. Let's go to Liz Tomfordy, and I actually also thought about maybe putting all her books here, but I feel like I can generally talk about her books with these two examples. She just has solid spice. It is so well balanced. It does add to the relationship, like there is development through it, and it just like, she just writes amazing romances that also have amazing spice. It's the perfect combination. The only thing that I'm thinking about maybe is putting actually the right move into emotional spice. I want to put it into emotional spice. I'm unsure now even about the Gloss Off and Fake Out, because is it really emotional spice? We'll circle back to that at the end. Throttled. Ooh, I can't believe I only have one Lauren Asher book here. But again, I should have maybe also done one of these rankings just for the authors. Throttled, standing for entire Lauren Asher universe, she definitely gets the certified spice stamp for me. Like, her books are like so solid. I love her spice. I actually wanted to put Redeemed in here because Redeemed would 100% be emotional spice. Most of her other books is more certified spice, but they're all leaning into emotional spice. Then we have Penelope Douglas. I was also unsure if it's even like considered temporary romance. Birthday Girl is the only book I've read by her, and I did not really enjoy it, but it was hot. It was hot, but it was also hollow. It's not mediocre spice, so this is the hot but hollow category. Let's go to the next book. The Spanish Love Deception just really needed one more editing round, and it is definitely a hot but hollow category for me. And Lana Ferguson is also an author. I've only read The Nanny by her, and this was such a fun concept because it is about her becoming his nanny. She actually was on OnlyFans, and he was a subscriber to her, and like only her, and they sort of had a relationship there, but she always wore a mask, so he doesn't know that it's her, but she knows that it is him. And it's like, it's a hot book, but I feel like it was also hot but hollow. I feel like that the spice overtakes the plot. Let's go to Marriage for One. Marriage for One. Marriage for One is also one of my favorite books. It's such a comfort read, and it's like one of the best books if you like the like trope, he takes care of her. Oh, it is so good. It has spice, but it's quite a long book for a romance, and it's not like overpowering at all, and it's also not super explicit, at least as I remember. So I feel like it's more vanilla, let's call it that. So that's why I want to put it into Stardust Spice. Let's do the Kiss Quotient. I enjoyed the spice in here as well. I would probably put it into certified spice. Say You Swear, also recent read. How can that be such a recent read and I have to think about what the spice was like? I feel like it was definitely spicy, right? Like, it was spicy. It's definitely not read it for the spice because I don't remember a lot. I don't even know if I would say it's like certified spice. It's hard to put it into hot but hollow, but because I don't feel like it was like overpowering. I honestly don't remember, and I read it like last month. How's that happening? I'm even thinking now maybe it's like Stardust Spice. I think like the vanilla flavor on the Stardust Spice makes me, yeah, okay putting it into Stardust Spice. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Let's go with Red, White and Royal Blue. And I can put that in the same category. Like there is a little bit of spice in there. If I would put it into a different category, I would put it more to emotional spice, but I'm happy with putting it in starter spice. Let's finish off the starter spice, because the only other book that will go in there is Funny Story. So Emily Henry, I like really had to think whether her books would even fit on this sheet, because as I said, I don't really wanted to include any like closed door romances, and I generally don't think about like smut and spice when it comes to Emily Henry. However, I wanted to mention her, and as I said, I would definitely put it into starter spice, because I don't know about all her books, okay, but Funny Story did have that element of like, you know, some intimacy, let's call it that. I don't even want to call it spice, but intimacy. And it's definitely also on page. So it is perfect as a starter spice. The last two books, A Not So Meet Cute and Icebreaker. I leave Icebreaker for last because I'm afraid to say what I want to say. A Not So Meet Cute, ooh, it's so good. It would translate so well into a book, into a movie. But when it comes to the spice, guys, it's definitely certified, 100%. I'm more or less thinking about putting it into Read It for the Spice. It's not emotional, like it's way smuttier. If I'm honest, it's probably more certified spice. It's not quite in the Read It for the Spice category, but it is chef's kiss, so good. Whereas Icebreaker. Icebreaker is a hot topic. I don't understand why people don't love it, because I loved Icebreaker and it's still my favorite by Hannah Grace. I especially think about the spice. I'm like terrified to say this because I know, like, I've seen other people talk about the exact same scene that I have in my head right now as like, it's first of all super unrealistic and it's just like, it's not okay and it's not sexy. Where I'm like, read it for that scene alone, like 100% I'm putting it into Read It for the Spice. I love this book, but that scene in the car with all their friends, holy smokes, that's hot. That is hot, and I'm not taking it back. I can't believe with like all these books that actually the starter spice category is the fullest. Let's also, okay, before I say this is my final, like, let's just check. 100% yes, kiss the sky. I don't know if it's for spice. I think, I'm so waiting for it, maybe, but you know what? I'll actually put it into certified spice. Also just thinking about the second book. It is for me certified spice, and you know, this should be really a special category. So I'm going for spice. Let's go. Yep. Certified spice. Yes. I'm also thinking like, is the spice? Is this true? I think I like thinking about it now. I have to put them up here. Can we have a shuffle a little bit to make it all fit? Yeah. And yeah, that's, I think, it's like, I can't believe that it's only 4 books that I put into emotional spice. But I truly wanted the emotional spice just to showcase like the development within the relationship shown through the spice. I don't know why I like explain myself right now when I've like explained why I put each book into each category in my categories. I don't need to justify myself. No one is coming for you, Viv? No one? I definitely love telling you my strong opinions. I don't even know if they are strong opinions, but it feels like it. But yeah, I feel like with the final sheet, I'm happy like that. I hope you found this helpful at all. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree with some of them. And I hope it also just helped you generally like figure out if you want to pick up some of these or not. I had so much fun and I hope you had some fun as well. I didn't even get to drink all my matcha because I was yapping and talking so much, but I will finish that one now. And please give this video a like and also subscribe for more bookish content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!